Hello, hello. I'm recording so that other people can see this because it's an important one. We're going to talk about making that plan for director trip. And those of you who have been on a director trip, we know how important it is, right? Anybody? Anybody?
Absolutely. Well, the best trip I've ever been on.
Yeah, it really is like a top quality trip to be on, right?
Yeah, you learn a lot, but they make it fun too, which is cool.
Yeah, it should be. Bali.
It's an experience. Put it that way. It's an experience more than just like a regular vacation, right? It's the whole package.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Kevin and Diane, you guys have been on a director trip.
Yes.
Would you recommend it to people?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. You just have to, sit at the beach half the time or get all that training from top people. Yeah. It's a tough one.
It was awesome. It's kind of like, it's a feeling. A lot of it is just how it makes you feel, how they make you feel, and it's just unbelievable.
It really is like a feeling of royalty. I've said that. I can't explain it any better, but to explain it as a feeling of royalty. Right, Jeff?
Absolutely, Carla. I recommend it for everybody.
Okay, you're not going to be like Diane and say, no fun.
It's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of fun. We get to meet people from all over the world that are building the business, and they have great speakers, and it's just a good time. We have volleyball, sit around the pool, have toddies, whatever. So,
yeah,
but it's a great time to get to know people.
Yeah, it's a great time to get to know people, and it's a great bonding experience. So, Art just had our corporate call, and he was going through all of the exciting campaigns they have, and they've got 200% going on. They've got all this stuff going on. And one of the things that we haven't really talked about is the director trip, which we know has been one of the biggest perks. It's a 5-star hotel and a top training from people around the world. The people who are building Zinzino, it's just the whole package. But one thing we know for sure is that we don't have enough people around the United States going. So let's have more people going. I'm going to just mute out the call because there's different. And then if people want to jump in or have questions, just please unmute yourself. You can ask questions and all. So I'm going to talk today about the director trip. And actually now's the time to get started, actually to make that plan. Because what we see is sometimes people, they get close to the summer and they go, man, you mean I was that close and I didn't plan enough for it? Or they realize maybe they should have pushed a little bit more earlier to make those last points because they just can't quite get them. Or maybe if they would have just made this last campaign that they had extra director trip points on, they might have been on the trip. So, the director trip is a perk that everybody in Zinzino can go on. It's so worth it. It makes sometimes the toughest things that we go through in the business, you just get to the director trip and say, this is worth it. You get your feet in the sand, tucking those toes in there, sitting with that drink and just saying, cheering and saying, okay, I pushed and I did it. And it's worth that. But I recommend making a plan now and start working on getting the points that you need now. Because this is how you're going to make sure that you're getting on the trip. And we don't have enough people on that trip. I'm going to go through, there's really 3 ways that you can make the trip. So here is kind of the lowdown. The way to qualify is from annual event to annual event. So Zinzino's international annual event is mid-October. And from mid-October to mid-October, you need to qualify by doing one of three things. Number one, you could get on it by making director. That's if you make director any of the months, as long as it's before mid-October, which would mean probably September is your last month to do so, you can make a plan for that. That would be one way. The second way is by making a whole bunch of customers and getting up to top 200. So once you get 200 customers with a certain amount of points for all of them, you need to have that 2 months before October. So if you do it in August and September, you have the director trip. And you know, that was one thing that I heard that they're doing in a lot of the other countries right now. They had a lot of qualifying people to the director trip by getting up to top 200. I was shocked myself at how many people got on the director trip by getting up on customers. There were people that didn't have high titles, but they had over 200 customers. That was their top way to get on that director trip. So that's the second way. And there's one more way that I'm going to go into detail about and tell you guys how you could make a plan to get enough points to get there. So you can also get there on points. You need 150 points, and you have different things. And I'll post this to the page to that, or their team page. I'll post this. But it's, if we have the director trip, you get trips for points every month, and it starts October and it goes all the way to October again. So you're going to get, and I made different things here. So you can just take a piece of paper, write down every month from October to October, and here's what you have on the top. You have an amount, you need a total of 150 points. You can get 50 of them from customer points that are going on subscription. And I know online, if you look it up, it said 40, but it was a typo. That's what it used to be. You can now get 50 of them. So just to be sure everyone's in agreement on that, you can get 50 customer points. So every customer that goes on subscription, you get a point for? Yeah, that's big. So everyone can be a point. So you can make a plan of saying, I'm going to get 5 customers each month, and start making a plan for that, or get them all over with. Just keep doing that. And then that's what I put as the first one. The next one, I was going to do it in the exact way that they had in the back office, but you can't see it right now. The points haven't totaled yet from October, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make a plan. And then the next column, I put partners. And you get, for every paid partner, you get a point. Or if somebody takes the free and makes Smart Bronze, that counts too. So you can get 50 of those points. I like that. And then you get, for your team points, meaning whether you're A team, pro team, top team. And that is getting 1 point for A team. You get 3 points for pro team, 5 points for top team. And A team is 25 customers, just to make sure if people are in doubt. Once you have A team, every month you have A team, you get a point towards your director trip. Every month your pro team, you get 3 points, that's 50 customers, to your director trip. So you can see, if you start adding this up, when are you pro team and when are you top team? Top team is 5 for every month. So if you did top team the whole year, you already have 60 of your 150 points. But you do top team 200 because, you know, the first year you have 2 months, you get to go on director trip. But after that, you'll start working on getting points also. And do you know that top team 200 gives 8 points every month? And now we're getting more and more up to the top team 300. I remember the first person who had top team 200, everyone went, whoa. Now there's so many people that have that. It was packed on stage at the annual event. It's how many people had top team 200 because they all want to go on the director trip. So top team 200 gives you 8 points every month, and top team 300 gives you 11 points every month. You're almost on that trip just by being top team 300. You would be going on director trips every year. So some people might say, you know what? I'm pretty darn good at making those customers. I'm going to just start making top team 300 because that way you're probably on almost all the trips. And your business is probably growing anyway. So that's what I put for. So again, it was customers, partners, and what team it is, A team, pro team, top team. And the last one is your title. So you get title, or the next one is your title. So you get 1 team for every month you're executive, 4 for every month you're platinum, 10 for every month you're diamond, and every month you're director and above. Now remember, your first year, you're going to go automatically on the director trip. But after that, you're qualifying also. And director and above makes 30 points each time. Every month you have that. Now I put an extra column in here that says extra on it because they make a lot of campaigns. And that is one way to make sure that you're going to be on that director trip, is to hit some of those campaigns. They give 10 extra points for this, or they give double up on something else. And the more points you can get on that, the better. What I would do is then have, like they do online, they have your total points. So you can check your total points. And you can check this in your back office each month. Now, it hasn't been posted for this year yet, but then there's a little pie chart. And so that's how you can create a whole bunch of points. Now, it's hard to see when I've got it here, but I will, in the little message that I made about director trip right now, I'll put this in I'll put this in the comments right away so that you can see it. So does anybody have any comments about that or any questions about that?
I actually have a question.
Well,
Just thought about this. I think if I'm asking it, I might not be the only person that has this question. So you know, when you normally qualify for the director trip, you have to have a minimum of 5 partners.
yes.
If you do it with 200 customers, do you still have to have the 5 partners?
Yes.
Okay, thought so. Thank you.
Good question though, because that's one of the things that they did have is everybody needs to have 5 partners, and it says that also in your back office when it's posted. It'll show you need to have. That'll be one of the things that needs to be done. How many people? How many partners? And 5 of them is a minimum of what you need per year. Definitely. Okay, I was just going to post it right now so that, oh, that was almost posted on the wrong one. Reminder. I'll put it right there on that reminder. That way people can see it. Okay. It is posted. So if anybody wants to take a look at it, it is posted on in the comments of that, of what we're talking about here. So
when will that be updated in our back office?
Usually, because they usually have a few months where it gets going. Last year it was updated, I think it was like when the month was done of December, and then it just went a couple days. So it started in January, and that's when it come up, and then it had all of the points, and and it shows how many customer points you've had, how many partner points you had, and it does exactly the same way. But what I would do is make this type of a little sheet and then start playing with it yourself and say, okay, I need to get all those customer points. So maybe divide them out to make your plan, how many customers you're going to need each month. And then start to put in, okay, well, let's see. Right now, if I'm A team, I've got 1 point. When are you going to be pro team? Because then you can start putting in the points. Or when are you going to hit top team? And what is your title points going to be? And how many partners you want to get for each month, and start adding this up to see, does it add up to 150? Because you might say, okay, well, if I need that, I need to hit diamond then at some point to get those 10 points in, because those kind of give a big jump, So let's see, if I want to be executive here and I want to be platinum here each month, it's important that I hit diamond here in these months and this month, and this is how I'm going to add up to 150 points. So sit and play with it, and if anybody would like to, ask your upline. Either ask your upline diamond or go up to somebody in your upline and say, do you know if this plan would be working enough, and is this going to work for me? Could I do this plan, or how can I make this, or would you help me make this? Because I was quite amazed at how many of those people that were up on stage that were coming to the director trip where we were up there with the flags, how many of them hadn't even been in the business the whole year. Yeah, a lot of them. It was quite amazing. They hadn't even been into Inns and Zeno from October to October, and they still made the trip. So anybody who is on this call, you can definitely make that director trip. But like I said, I think you need to make a plan for it today. And if you're thinking, oh, it's probably not for me, I probably can't go on that trip. No, you could definitely be on the director trip. So make this little, write it out for yourself. And remember, one of the last things is that in October, you can still get points in October. The last month goes to whatever the annual event is, it's the Wednesday before, so it's the week cutoff date. You can still get points up until then. So you can still put in partners. You can still, even if you're an active diamond, usually you could probably work at hitting active platinum that month and getting 4 more points there. Or even if you're used to have top team and it's you won't maybe get all your customers points through then, but maybe you'd still hit pro team. You can still get those last points in on that last month. So if you start adding up the points now and saying, okay, I really want to be on the director trip. So I was thinking of making a group who meets once a month just in regards to director trip and saying, okay, I've made my plan, and just to have that accountability on, we want to go. We want to go to, we want to go on that director trip, and we're on track, or we need to up the bar, and what do we need to do to get on that? So I'm going to be posting once a month. We're going to be working on that. But I would say, don't count out December. Every customer counts. We've got all these bonuses going on right now, and you can go out and get those 10 points for your 200% in January, which means you're going to get a higher title in January. And those 10 points actually count towards your director trip. It's kind of a win-win in this company. So we're going to make a group of people who really want to be a part of this director trip and really want to go to the Mexico one. We're not going halfway around the world. We're just going to Mexico to a 5-star top hotel. Beautiful. I've heard it. If you look online, it's like the top hotel of the area. It's amazing. So it's a great way to make a plan to get there. And let's have a Team USA party down in Mexico, okay? Let's do that. Yeah. Okay. So any comments or questions or people who want to join in, or anybody want to go?
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Want to go, hey,
Great.
when are we going to start practicing for volleyball? I think we need to do that.
Yeah, we need a big team.
That'll give us
Okay.
incentive.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, Marcy. Do you know, last year we were getting really close. We were like the second team. And this year we don't have enough people going to the trip. So we need more Americans going. And you're right, Marcy. We need to start practicing, because Mexico is going to be Team USA's year, because 2020 is definitely our year to get this thing going and rolling and flying high. And let's see.
But we should have this monthly meeting be in person, followed by volleyball practice.
There you go.
Maybe we'll have
Pay
to
it.
do some of those times. Say, okay, the director trip
And that-
volleyball group. Oh, and by the way,
And you know what?
yeah, go ahead, Marcy.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just
gonna
say,
say,
let's sponsor some of those volleyball players.
yeah. And the thing is we all want to be healthier. And I don't know about you guys, but winter is so tough for me in northern Minnesota. And I'm not being negative. I'm just saying I have to choose to do something. I even found a group that I think I'm going to be able to go snowshoeing with. You know, I need to make a choice, as hard as it is to go out there. And volleyball, you can do indoors in the winter. And so there might be something to this, you guys.
I think that sounds like a great idea. and let's find let's all go and practice at different volleyball places and start to recruit all the good volleyball players. I like that. Okay, but I think it's really, you know, it's a thing that you can, I think too, like Marcy said, it's a decision. It's something where you say, can I really do this? And I know a lot of people that have not had it in their head that they could go on the director trip. But it's something, you know, like Jeff said, everybody should come on the trip. And maybe just come on the trip to see what it's like, you know, and then you don't want to miss a trip. But it's worth it. And I want you all to know that everybody can do it. It really is something that everybody can do. But plan for it now, and you need to push those little bit extras. Check your customer points. Do you have 25? And if you don't have A team now, push for A team, because that's going to start getting your first point. And then you start putting in more customers to get up to pro team, and then work at getting up to top team, because that's a lot of points in there. And you're going to want to get at all the 50 customer points. Those are the easy ones to get. Keep working on getting all those customers. And you can get up to 50 partner points. So you've got all kinds of ways to get these points. That's a lot of them. And if you got 50 partner points, you realize you would also be going on the founders trip, which is another trip. So there's a lot of fun things in Zinzino that makes it a win-win.
Well, I'm guessing if we got 50 partner points, we'd probably end up being director, and then we'd all be going on the trip. Hello, right? Am I not like on the right track here?
Ding, 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 ding. Marcy's got it. It's a winner.
I might not be all that good at math, because I proved that with cribbage last night, but I got this one.
We've got this one, and this one's important. I'd rather have you good at this one. But it really is. It's a win-win. And all you're really doing is helping a whole bunch of people get healthier, or helping other people, and get the dreams that they want. Helping people in so many ways. So this is like a win-win-win. It's just about keep talking to people. You're going to get some no's. That's okay. Let's look for the people who are looking and who are excited about it. There's a lot of people out there, as long as we keep talking to them. Okay, so any other questions about director trip? Or right now we're coming into the final stretches of the month. I really want everybody to understand how important those 10 points are, or getting that test kit for giving more tests out to get the 200% in January. Because I know that there's going to be a campaign coming. That part I do know, because they're not putting everything off from the beginning. At that kickoff here in Denmark, where executives and up can stream in on Friday. Then they're going to do kickoff for many of the countries that weekend, where Orion and Hilda and Dag and Jacob are here in Denmark, all part of the event here, and they're streaming it to so many countries. There's a reason. They've got a plan of what they're doing for 2020. You'll want to have the 200%. No, not in doubt. I don't know what the campaign is, so don't be writing me going, come on, Carla, tell me what it is. I don't know. I just know it's coming.
Carla, 2020 is the United States year, and it's each and every one of us that's on this call is 2020 is our year. But to finish up 2019, to get 2020 started right, that's what we have to focus on right now. Get the action points so you get 200%, so you can slingshot January into a great year. So, you know what? So what do we got? Like about 2 weeks left. Mm-hmm. Everybody can hit the campaigns and get started on the 2020 after that. But getting started with 200%, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, and help the partners to get in, because they can get their kit money back now. They're not going to be able to do it next year.
Yeah.
We have 16 days left of December, so we're not even halfway through yet. Tomorrow at noon's our halfway mark.
There we go.
A lot can be done in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Now, I have a
question
for clarification, if I heard right. So those because we have a new partner that's on tonight. So those who started after September 1, they have until March 31st to qualify for all the rank up bonuses?
August 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, after August 24th. Okay. And then, so their cutoff is not December 31st like the rest of us. They have until March 31st to get the rank up bonuses of gold, executive, pro team. Okay.
Yes. So that's a good reason to be sponsoring people now. Everybody who's on the fence, we need to call them now and let them know. And actually, some of those people who are just starting now, or even if they're starting in December, could still make the director trip. There was a lot of people on stage that had done it within that year also. And with all the bonuses that Zinzino's got, and like Jeff said, 2020 is Team USA's year. We're going to be starting off. We have the gal who has made the biggest amount of customers and partners and T-Balance in the history of Zinzino coming to train us on the 11th and be there for the leadership symposium the night before. If you really want to be part of that, really taking this off like a business, you'll want to hear her. We've got it. So 2020, Jeff is so right. This is going to be Zinzino USA's year. And that means that when we're in Mexico, we're going to win the volleyball tournament. So make your plan. And I would like everybody to go through and start to make this plan. And then probably that first week of January, we'll have our first call about how it went. So finish off December well, and then we're going to go through and make sure that we're going to have a lot of people on doing this and making sure you've made that plan. And then we're going to follow up every month and maybe even get together and do some volleyball together, like Trish said. Fantastic. Well, our time is up. It is 1:45, and thanks for coming on. Let's get a lot of people on that. I'm going to post this with this in the comments. So if you have people in your team who you think that should be on that director trip with you, and it's really fun to have people in your team there, tag them, let them know, and we'll get a whole bunch of people on there. 2020 is the year of Team USA. I like that, Jeff. Fabulous. Okay, well, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for jumping on.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a great week. Woo-hoo.
Bye.